What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and another beginner Blender tutorial, which we're gonna create a cute mini keyboard in Blender. So without any further delay, let's get started. Okay, first of all, let's select this default cube and scale it down on the z-axis, just like this. Then scale it on the y-axis to create this shape here, the rectangular shape, and again we can scale it down a little bit. After that we can apply the scale because we scale it on the object mode. Hold Ctrl A and scale, then come to edit mode and add a loop cut in the middle, then select these vertices, all of them, and then press X vertices to delete them, then press tab to go to edit mode and add a mirror modifier. Then we can add a subdivision modifier by holding Ctrl 2 to add 2 segments for subdivision modifier, or we can just come to this part and add a subdivision modifier from here, and then right click shade smooth and we can work on it slightly. Let's add loop cuts, supporting loop cuts here and there. First one should be on this part at the end of this edge, and the other one we can add one here in the middle, and by Ctrl B we can bevel it on these parts to the right and left, and the other one should be at this part, and we can do the same as we did for the previous one. And you can see we have a nice soft edges here. So let's select this loop cut by holding Alt and drag it a little bit to the right, just like this, and press 3 to go, and press 3, or we can select the face selection mode from here. Select this face and then press 1 to go to front photographic view to see properly what's happening, and hold Alt C to go to the X-ray selection mode, and now press E and extrude it on the Z-axis just like that, and hold Alt Z, and you see that we have an issue here. It's because that we have a edge in the middle. For this one we can just select this edge and now delete the edges and it would be fixed for you. And then we have to add some supporting loop cuts here and there as we did for the outside. Just by Ctrl R we can add some loop cuts and it won't be so hard. Let's add another one here, then by Ctrl B bevel it all the way up to this point, and for now we can add these loop cuts for maintaining this shape here, and also maybe we can add one in the middle as well. I forgot to add one here. Can add it just like there, and you see we have this holder for the keyboard. Let's select it and press F2 to change its name to holder, and now it's time to add the keys. Shift A and bring a cube, then scale it down and press 7 to go to top orthographic view, bring it here, scale it up a little bit and it should be here, then scale it on the x-axis just like this to touch these edges on the right and left side. And now let's hold Ctrl A to apply the scale and come to edit mode, select this top face and scale it slightly on the x-axis, just a little bit, not so much, and then we can scale it on the object mode a little bit more and then apply the scale again. And now let's come to modifiers tab and add a bevel modifier. We can change the segments to 3 and work on the amount, reduce it slightly just like that, and right click then shade it smooth, and it will be our space button, but I think we can scale it on the y-axis a little bit just like this and bring it a little bit higher, and there you go. We can take this key and take a copy of this one by holding Shift D and bring it here. The other one should be here, and then we can take this one and hold Alt Z, then select these faces, drag them inside just like that, and we have this shape here. And now we can work on the other keys as well. Select the middle one, press tab to go to edit mode, and select vertex select mode, and select these ones, drag them here. It would be our caps lock key. And the other one, select this, and again come to edit mode, Alt Z to enable the X-ray selection mode, and bring them all the way here to have this key here. But I think it should be a little bit squarey like this. And for this one we can add an array modifier. Let's select it, and number of counts should be something around 4 or even 5. I think 5 is too much. We can select these ones, bring them a little bit inside, just up to there. And for this one we can take it and scale it down just like that, but I think it's too much. Let's scale it up a little bit, and we can select these ones and bring them a little bit to the left, 2 of them, and it should be like this. And for the holder one we can select it and scale it on the X just like that. And I think we can scale it up a little bit, not that much, somewhere like this. And maybe we can scale it a little bit and bring them to the left part just like that, to have a room for our enter key. Take this one, take a copy of this one by holding Shift D and bring it here, and change the numbers to, where is it? Yeah, 3. And select this key, then come to edit mode. Let's bring it a little bit to the left part, and then select these ones, bring them to the left. And it's our room for the enter key, but it's not good and proper. We can fix it. Let's select this holder and scale it on the X a little bit, just like this. Bring them, select these ones, these keys, and by G and X bring them to the left part a little bit, just like that. And or maybe we can do it just a bit, not so much, and it would be fixed. In that case, I forgot these ones, and there we go. You can select this space key and scale it on the X, just like that. And we can take one of these and take a copy by Shift D, bring it here, and get rid of the array modifier. And now we can work on it. Come to edit mode and fix this one here. We can select these vertices and then scale and then extrude them. Let me find a good view here and extrude them up to this point. Let's see what happens from the top orthographic view. You can press 7, and now we can select these 2 vertices and bring them a little bit down like this, and select this face and extrude them up to this point. Drag it a little bit to the right part, and there we go. We have the enter key as well, but you see we have an issue here. We can fix it from this bevel modifiers part. We can come to geometry tab and change the outer to arc, and there we go. We have a nice, but we have another issue. I didn't see that. Let's come back by Ctrl Z, press 1 to go to front orthographic view, hold Alt Z, and now let's extrude it and see what happens here. Oh, and you see it's extruding in the normals. Because of that we had this issue. I don't want to extrude in this orientation, but I want to extrude in the X-axis. For doing that, you simply just press X and then it would be fixed. Now come to top orthographic view by pressing 7 and then hold Alt Z, then bring it a little bit to the left part, and there we go. So now let's change this geometry to arc and then change the angle to none, and there we go. So the modeling is done. Let's give it a texture and take a render out of this. First of all, let's add a floor, Shift A, and add a plane, and then scale it up just like this. It should be our floor, and bring it down up to this point, and then find a good view that you want to have it in your render like this, and hold Alt Control Z to fit the camera to the view, and press N then view, and enable the camera to view. In that case, you can move around the world as we are moving with the camera itself. So we can find a good view. Select the camera and come to the object properties and change the focal length from 50 to 80, and now we can zoom in, zoom out a little bit, and I think this view will be work for us. And let's split the view into two from here, and this is for our camera part. Press the home button key to fit the camera to the scene, and now press T to hide these menus here, and press N, and let's disable it, and from here we can do the same as well. Now come to the shading part and work on the camera, but we are going to the render preview mode, and we're going to add a texture. But first of all, I'm going to change the color of the world to a cream color like this. I think it would be very nice. I think it would be very nice to have something like this. And select one of the keys, and then click on new, and I'm going to call it keyboard. And now let's change the base color. I'm going to zoom in to see properly what's happening here. Let's change it to a fantasy color like this. I like this tone and shape here, and we can increase the roughness a little bit. It shouldn't be that much, just like this. And select the other objects, and at the end select the first one that we add a material, and hold Ctrl L, and then link materials, and there you go. We can work on one of them and the other ones would be changed as well. So let me change its color a little bit to find a good color for this one. For now I think it's good. I'm satisfied with this one, and let's select this floor and call it floor. Then, and for the color of floor, I'm going to change it to a bluish color like this. I like this tone that it's great with this one. And come to render properties and add the ambient occlusion and bloom, and then the screen space reflections, and select the floor again. For this one, we can increase or decrease the roughness a little bit slightly, and I think it's on the air, because we have this. It's floating actually, because the keys are much thicker. Because of that, I didn't see that. Let's fix it quickly. Select all the keys and press tab to go to edit mode. Press 1 to see it from the front of the graphic view, and hold Alt Z. Then press 1, or you can select the vertex selection mode from here. Select all of the vertices, the bottom ones, and now we can drag them by G and Z and bring them higher, just like that. And then hold Alt Z again for coming to solid view. And now we can take this floor and bring it higher. Actually, our keyboard was floating in the air. Okay, and now it should be fixed. Yeah, it's much better now. And then we can add some labels to the keyboard. Let's change these ones as well to the render preview, and press 7 to go to top of the graphic view, and then let's add a text. Bring it here and scale it down just like this, and bring it up. Let me find it. Where is it? And from the object properties, we can come to geometry and increase the extrude a little bit, slightly, to give it a thickness, and bring it down. Then come to the shading part and click on new and add a new material. I'm going to tell its material text and change the color to a darker color like this. I think it should be a little bit darker as well. And now we can change its text. Press tab and clean it, and now I'm going to call it space. Then press tab again, and maybe we can scale it down a little bit, just like that. Should be tiny, and it's good. Press 7 to go to top orthographic view. You can find a good and proper place for this one. So we can take a copy of this one, bring it here, and change its text. Let's call it caps lock. Then I should scale it down for this one a bit. I should check whether it's floating or not, because we had this issue before. I don't want to repeat that again. Then take this and change its text. I'm going to change its text to maybe L. Then it should be our L key, and take a copy and bring it here. Then I'm going to change it to maybe H, and another one should be the semicolon, and this one you can scale it down a little bit slightly, and there you go. For this one, let's take a copy and change this one to ESC key, this one, and then take a copy and bring it here. I'm gonna change it to maybe O. It's not a big deal, we're just changing the text here. And for this one, maybe I can use the P, or not P, R. They aren't in order, I know, but P is good for this. Yeah, let's change it to P and bring it, take another one here, and for this one I'm gonna use these, and there you go. The last one should be our enter key. Let's take a copy of this space button, and I'm gonna change it to enter, and there you go. So I think it's really good. I like it, and maybe we can work on the shading of this text a little bit. I think we should increase the roughness of that just a bit. And the last step we're gonna do is to add 2 lights here and there, or 3 maybe, and then it would be done. So let's add a light. Where is the light? It should be an area light, and bring it higher, just like this. And then press 1 to go to front orthographic view. Let's rotate it 45 degrees around the, where is it, y-axis, and bring it here. And we can rotate it 45 degrees on the z-axis, just like this. And press 7 to go to top orthographic view, and now I think it's good. Let's change the power to around 100, and I think it's pretty good. We can change its color to a little bit bluish color, just like this. And then we can take a copy of this one and bring it here. We can rotate it just like this, bring it here, and it shouldn't have that much power, maybe 20 for this one is good. And for the color, I'm gonna change it to a warm color like orange. And now we can come to world properties and decrease the brightness of the color to something like this. And now we can add another light, area light, bring it higher, just like this, and we can increase its power to something about, again, 100 or 50. 100 is too much, I think. And I think we should bring the floor a little bit higher. because we had some, I think we have some floating issues again. This would be good. And select the floor, come to the shading part, and we can change its color. We can change its color just a bit, like this. Oh, it changed to green. I mean, like this. I like it. And then we can select this one, the keyboard one, and change its color just a little bit to have a fancy color. I like this color, yeah. It is good now, and there we go. And maybe we can bring it a little bit closer, this light. And about this light, I can scale it a little bit up, bring it nearer just a bit, and the last light should be just like this. And the last thing we're gonna do is to come to the render part, render properties, come all the way down, and on the color management, let's change the look from none to medium high contrast, or if you like, you can change it to very high contrast, but I'm gonna change it to medium high contrast. And there we go. Here's our cute and mini keyboard that we created in Blender. I hope you liked it and enjoyed the video and learned something. If you like it, just click on the like button, and if you're not subscribing the channel yet and new to the channel, just click on that button below to subscribe in the channel and hit the bell to not miss any new future uploads. So see you on the next video, stay tuned.